Roseberry Wynn is a Tiverton, Rhode Island company that makes pottery with a distinctive style. Co-owner Bruce Wynn has enjoyed pottery since he lived on a clay bank as a child.
Some of my earliest memories are sitting in the clay bank and actually using the clay.
The majority of the Roseberry Wynn pieces have low relief patterns that highlight their handmade glazes.
It brings a whole nother dimension to the piece, and you look at it in a different way rather than if it was just sort of a smooth piece with a just color.
First, each pattern is drawn on a computer. Then a paper model is made, followed by a hand-carved clay model, a plaster model and mold, which is then used to make a rubber master. Co-owner Michael Roseberry showed us how they make this vase. Each one takes between 3 and 4 days.
The vase we're making today is what is part of our series that we call the Meadow series. So it's a porcelain vase with low relief on it, and we're going to kind of trace the steps of how we get to this finished product.
The liquid clay is mixed up before it's put in the mold. Michael used to be a chemist, so he's come up with the recipe for the clay and glazes they use.
So we take the nozzle, hold it over, and just fill them up.
Michael uses what looks like a gas pump to pour the liquid clay or slip into the plaster mold. The clay will be in the mold for 40 minutes.
My timer's gone off, so I know it's ready. It's ready to pour out the excess. We're going to do that into the reservoir. And then we'll tip it on its side so it doesn't form a drip across the bottom. And then it'll sit in the mold for about another half hour until it stiffens up a little more.
Half an hour later, Michael carefully pulls apart the mold to reveal the vase. Once it's fully out, the vase needs to sit a while before Michael can trim the excess off. It then has to dry out before it can go in the kiln for its first firing.
This is the first time they're fired, which is the bisque firing. At that point, we fire the kiln to about 1800 degrees, and that makes them hard, but it still leaves them porous.
This time around, the vase will bake in the kiln for 12 hours and then cool for a day before it comes out.
So this is the piece after it comes out of the bisque kiln. As you can see, it's a little harder. You can hear it, but it's still porous.
Although the glaze looks red, when it's done, the vase will be mint green.
So it goes into the glaze. I give it a count of 3 or 4, and then it comes out of the glaze. The excess runs off.
Since the vase is porous, it dries quickly. When the moisture is out, he puts it into the glaze kiln for 8 hours.
And now we'll open up the kiln. It's cooled down, and you can see the pieces. And our piece that we put in is the piece here. And you can see it's a nice mint color now. It was a dark red before it went in, but the iron has reacted with the glaze constituents, and it makes a nice kind of mint green color.
The finished vase costs $45 and comes in 14 different colors. Roseberry Wynn makes several other products, including a dinnerware line. This teapot costs $150.
I worked really hard on the angle of the spout and whatever just to make sure that it worked perfectly. We added the end here so that when you pour, the lid won't come off.
They also make a line of tiles that can adorn a fireplace or a kitchen, like this one they did.
This client really wanted to bring some color into the kitchen, which of course as tile makers we were thrilled because instead of being the background for the installation, we kind of really are what stands out within the installation, so that was really fun to do.
Their commitment to both the beauty and functionality of pottery makes Roseberry Wynn a New England dream house real find.